Many incidents took place, but with only an hour, we can only show so much. So we suggest reading the many books that are available about the Haymarket and those involved, including writings from anarchists inspired greatly by them. Our goal in doing this play is to inform and remind you of our comrades who have died and fought for the cause of anarchy. The characters now introduce themselves.
My name is Albert Parsons. I was born in Montgomery, Alabama in 1848 and was orphaned at 5 years. At 5, where a slave and house servant of my brother's family became my mother. I became a socialist after the Civil War and started to publish The Spectator, a small weekly in Texas, espousing the rights of liberated blacks. In 1872, I married Lucy, my political comrade. We then moved to Philadelphia in 1873 and then Chicago. In Chicago, I emerged with a national reputation and was called upon to address a working class meeting. In Chicago is where I said, anarchy would strike for humanity every chain that binds it, and say to mankind, go forth, you are free, have all, enjoy all.
My name is Lucy Parsons, born of Black, Mexican, and Indian descent. I became involved in radical activities with Albert from 1874 and on. I am a writer for several papers and a member of the Knights of Labor. I am known by many as a speaker, arrested many times for speaking, and the police of Chicago considers me more dangerous than 1,000 rioters. My companion Albert will be one of the Chicago Haymarket martyrs, but that will not stop me. I will continue to fight for anarchism, industrial unionism, and labor defense.
Yeah!
I am August Spies, a German who immigrated at age 18 to Chicago. I became a socialist in 1875, and in 1880, I became the editor of Arbeiter Zeitung, a German anarchist and socialist newspaper. In 1883, I helped found the International Working People's Association. I believe that we're all disinherited. The property of the country does belong to the rich. All we get out of it is a bare living for very hard work. We ought to all unite, and so I fight to improve such conditions.
I am Adolf Fischer, born in Germany in 1858. I became a socialist at age 15 when I came in New York. I learned much on socialism when I went to meetings with my father. In June 1883, I moved to Chicago with my wife and children, or child, and worked for the Anarchist Daily, Arbeiter Zeitung. My radicalism and anarchist involvement deepened during the years, and I am also part of the autonomous faction that emphasizes decentralism and spontaneity with George Engel. I co-edited the journal Der Anarchist, and our motto, we hate authority.
Yeah!
I am George Engel, oldest of the Haymarket 8. Came to Chicago with my wife in 1874. In the beginning, I was a supporter of electoral socialism, but soon I regarded elections as rigged and so lost faith in the ballot box. Adolf Fischer and I produced Der Anarchist, which was regarded as an extremely militant, autonomous faction of the International Working People's Association. Daily, I see numerous proletarians for whom no table is set, who are outcasts of society and who stray joylessly through life. And for this and many more, I am an anarchist.
I am Louis Ling, born in Germany in 1864. At age 13, my father died from an injury at the job, which led my family to suffer. After my carpenter's apprenticeship, I enjoyed the world, admiring nature, climbing mountains, and wandering for 3 years. I became an anarchist. Do I look like a damn hippie soon? No hippie. I became an anarchist when I met propagandist of Deed August Reinsdorf in 1883. I immigrated to New York in 1885 to dodge military service, then I moved to Chicago. I organized the Chicago International Carpenters and Joiners Union, where I advocated the policy of using rude force to combat the ruder force of the police. There I learned to use rifles and make bombs.
I am Samuel Filden, born in 1847. I was a child laborer in British cotton mill from age 8 to 21 and learned to despise the factory's exploitation. I immigrated to America in 1868, where I became a defender for the blacks still held in bondage. I settled in Chicago in 1871 and became a member of free-thinking Chicago Liberal League. Then I joined the America group of IWPA. I became a popular speaker at labor rallies and even traveled to different states to lecture on behalf of the IWPA. I believe through socialism, the world may be cured of undesirable conditions.
I'm Crazy John, and I'm a member of the San Diego Anarchist movement. Smash the state.
I am Michael Schwab, born in 1853, also involved with the Arbeiterzeitung daily. I became radicalized in Europe and wrote for a radical press there before coming to the United States. In 1881, I settled in Chicago, where I became a member of the Socialistic Labor Party, joined the IWPA, and distributed Johann Moos Freiheit. Some say anarchy is a dream, but only in the present. I know our ideal will not be accomplished this or next year, but I know that it will be accomplished as near as possible someday in the future.
I am Oscar Nee, born in New York in 1850. Since 1875, I became known for playing an important role in planning and arranging street demonstrations and social affairs for the labor movement. I believe that laboring men should educate themselves, and thus help publish the anarchist daily Arbeiterzeitung. I am a class-conscious rebel against conditions as they are and against the rule of the boss.
I am Lizzie Holmes. I moved to Chicago in 1877, where I learned more about the labor movement while working as a teacher and seamstress. I became a member of Working Women's Union, Socialistic Labor Party, and then turned to anarchism in 1883. I married anarchist William Holmes and became part of the IWPA and assistant editor of The Alarm. I supported the Haymarket 8 even after the trials and was also active in the Knights of Labor. Where am I? Oh, Ladies Federal Labor Union, and contributed regularly to anarchist papers. And strong supporter of the Haymarket Anarchists.
I am Maria Schwab, wife and political comrade of Michael Schwab.
Much more than that.
This is serious, goddammit.
This national strike will finally mark a change in proletarian direction. I believe the 12-hour workday will be completely abolished by our planned boycotts and strike.
Already 80,000 workers
What's so funny about
have been
80,000?
walking picket lines, Oscar.
It won't happen as long as we keep demanding for the 8-hour day and demand it with no wage cuts. Why, Sam, why do you look
been a terrible day, comrades. Today, 6 workmen were killed by police at McCormick's, where August was speaking at. Many are wounded there as well. The police are getting more violent towards the strikes.
I'm very, very angry. This is what I wrote, and it's going to be on the paper.
Working men to arms. The masters sent out their bloodhounds, the police. They killed 6 of you brothers at McCormick's this afternoon. They killed the poor wretches because they, like you, had the courage to disobey the supreme will of your bosses. You have been miserable and obedient slaves all these years. Why? To satisfy the insatiable greed? To fill the coffers of your lazy, thieving master? Destroy the hideous monster that seeks to destroy you? To arms, we call you, to arms. It's signed, your brothers. This is good, August. It should be printed.
We need to issue another leaflet by tomorrow morning, comrades. And we'll call a mass protest by the evening at Haymarket Square.
Yeah.
During the day of May 4th, the police continued their violence on the strikers, and many people were hurt, and police hatred was growing among them. That evening, 3,000 people showed up at Haymarket Square and protested the rising police and employers' violence and injustice on the strikers.
The origin of government was in violence and murder. Government disinherits and slaves of the governed.
Yeah.
Government is for the slaves. Free men go to themselves.
Yeah.
I see things are peaceful here. I'll be on my way. I'll advise the police that everything is in order.
Well, there goes the mayor. Everyone is leaving as well. I guess the rain is going to cut this meeting short.
I mentioned to Sam up there to have the meeting moved to Zemps Hall, but he said he won't be along with this speech.
We better go though, Albert. The children are cold and it's getting really dark.
Yes, we should leave. It's raining.
It's no use killing the capitalist. That would be but to kill a flea on a dog. What we want is to kill the dog itself. That is capitalism. Comrades, I see Captain Bonville approaching with at least 200 of his men.
Disperse immediately! Everyone leave now!
Captain, this is a peaceful assembly and you have no...
Arrest that man! Come on.
Everyone run.
There's an explosion.
During the confusion after the bomb had exploded, many of the policemen were killed or injured by their own fellow officers when they had fired wildly while clubbing everyone in sight. Many citizens were also killed by the police that evening. The number is unknown, but at least 200 were injured.
I can't believe they shot at everyone last night, and they've raided this office 3 times since this morning.
The police are trying to repress us. They're initiating a reign of terror. They want us to disappear.
I know what you mean, Maria. They've wrecked our presses too. Look at this mess.
Oh, we have to denounce the latest police atrocity on the next issue. Everyone has to know about these injustices.
Lucy, has Albert left yet?
Yes, he left last night. Lizzie brought him to the station to stay with her husband. I just feel something terrible is going to happen, and he just has to leave for now.
We're not here to raid your office again, you bomb slingers. We're here to arrest you all. No names needed. Everyone here is being arrested.
Lucy Parsons and Sarah Ames were released that evening, and they immediately sent out circulars to all IWPA informing them that the Alarm and Albert Zayton papers had been suppressed, that many comrades were in jail, and that money was needed desperately. Albert Parsons came out from hiding as the police were after him and surrendered to be with his comrades. Only Feldman and Steves had been at Haymarket at the time. The other 6 anarchists were tried for inciting the act. Who threw the bomb was questionable as well, for this was a time when people were shot in cold blood by Pinkerton men, and personal revenge towards the police by any person could have been possible. After all the propaganda, misconception, and terror on the public about anarchists by the media and government, 8 men have been put on trial for their philosophy rather than any specific crime.
The juries reached a guilty verdict on all of the defendants. Oscar Neves sentenced to 15 years in prison. Parsons, Speeds, Lane, Schwab, Philman, Fisher, and Engel are all sentenced to be hanged.
It's not murder, however, of which you have convicted me, but for anarchy. So the condemnation is that I am an anarchist. I declare again I am in favor of using force. I have told Captain Shack, and I stand by it. If you cannonade us, we shall dynamite you. You laugh. Perhaps you think you'll throw no more bombs, but let me assure you I die happy on the gallows. So confident am I that hundreds and thousands will remember my words, and when you shall have hanged us, then mark my words. They will do the bomb throwing. In this hope do I say to you, I despise you. I despise your order, your laws, your force-propped authority. Hang me for it.
Whether we live or whether we die, the social revolution is inevitable.
I protest against my being sentenced to death because I have committed no crime. I was tried for murder, but I was convicted of anarchy. I protest against being sentenced to death because I have not been found guilty of murder. However, if I am to die on account of being an anarchist, on account of my love for liberty, fraternity, and equality, I will not remonstrate.
If you think that you could crush out my ideas by sending us to the gallows, if death is the penalty for proclaiming the truth, then I will proudly and defiantly pay the costly price.
You will murder innocent men.
There is no evidence to show that I was connected with the bomb throwing or that I was near it or anything of that kind, so I'm only sorry. That is, if you can stop it or help it, I will ask you to do it. That is, hang me too, for I think it is more honorable to die suddenly than to be killed by inches. That is all I've got to say. Your Honor, I'm sorry I'm not to be hung with the rest of the men.
For such a government as this, I can have no respect, and I will combat them despite their power, despite their police, despite their spies. As to my conviction, brought about as it was through capitalistic influence, I have not a word to say.
Judge Gary, you could find no law in the books which we have broken, and you said so yourself, but we are all to be hanged. You can't kill us, but you cannot kill the truth.
Many men and women still carried on the radical cause in Chicago, raised money for the convicted men's appeal, and traveled to other places to bring the message to the people. A number of people also became interested with the Haymarket cause. One was a wealthy lady named Nina Van Zadden. She attended the trials regularly and fell in love with August Speed during their visitations in jail.
They tell me that I can't visit you anymore, that only spouses will be permitted. How I wish you did not have to be in here.
We should marry then, if you don't agree, Nina. I want to be with you as long as I can.
Yes, I will marry you. I would give up my riches for you, for I know my family will turn me away from marrying you, except my mother. She will be happy for us.
Nina, I did not ask ask pardon from the governor. I wrote him a letter asking to take my life as a sacrifice, and I hope it will surface and in turn save the lives of my comrades. I will miss you and wish there was some other way.
I stand by you, August, until the end.
Everyone is willing to die, perhaps, more than me, but I offered the bastards my life in the name of humanity. Thank you, Nina, for being there for me.
Be quiet in there. What do you want?
Nothing, but I tell you, I will never die on the scaffold. I hate and defy you all, pig.
Yeah, but you see, you have no choice, you anarchists. You will be hanged.
I do not recognize your law jumbled together as it is by the nobodies of bygone centuries.
We're still dead.
Fuck you, pig.
Was the youngest of the Haymarket to die at age 23. He killed himself with a cigar bomb smuggled into a cell by a friend. The young anarchist went to his grave marked as the madman manufacturing bombs. But during the Haymarket incident, nothing was legal about owning dynamite or making bombs. Though he bore hatred for the capitalist system and advocated the use of force, he always expressed sympathy for men who had families and who were in trouble. And for this and more, he was respected by all his comrades.
Our friend Lewis died as he lived, against the law.
He was a brave man. He took the same stance as you, Albert. He requested liberty or death from the governor as well.
Lucy, I know our friends are saying that I should request clemency from the governor, but I can't. I'm devoted to the truth and justice, and I cannot ask for mercy. What can I do?
I understand you, Albert.
I stand with Adolf Fischer. We both love our families, and such an application for mercy would be contrary to our sense of dignity. I cannot sign an appeal for mercy. Let them proceed to murder me. Tell our friends that the state is going over. Can afford to hang an innocent man. I can afford to hang.
I will carry on the revolution for you and the others as well, for as long as I live.
Tomorrow they will hang me, Lucy. I will miss you and love you.
Michael Schwab and Samuel Fieldman had asked for executive clemency and had their sentences committed to life imprisonment by the governor. On November 11, 1887, Spies, Engel, Fisher, and Parsons were scheduled to be hung. Nina Van Zandt tried to visit August for the last time, but she was turned away. She never saw August again. Lucy had also tried, but she failed as well. Change.
I was told I could see Albert Parsons today in his jail at 8 a.m. They have scheduled him to be hung this afternoon.
Go to the corner of the building. Someone there has authorization.
How dare you play games with us? Can't you see the children are shivering and turning blue with cold?
You cannot see him right now.
Can we come back later?
You cannot visit him at all. You can see him when he's dead.
Please, I was promised visitation. What about the children? Can they even go in without me? Can they say goodbye to their father?
I said no. You're all arrested now. We'll make sure you're all stripped and search for bombs.
I want to see him.
Coffee break.
Hooray for anarchy! This is the happiest day of my life.
The time will come when our silence will be no more powerful than the voice you have struggled today.
Hooray for anarchy!
Will I be allowed to speak, O man of America? Let me speak, Sheriff Matson. Let the voice of the people be heard. Oh.
Oh, shut up.
No.
Don't.
No.
Parsons, Spies, Fisher, Ingle, and Ling. Although all that mortal of you will be laid beneath the cemetery, you are not dead. You are just beginning to live in the hearts of all true lovers of liberty. After years that you are gone, thousands who were then unborn are eager to learn of your lives in heroic martyrdom. And as the years lengthen, the brighter will shine your names, and the more you will come to be appreciated and loved. Those who so foully murdered you under the forms of law, lynch law, in a court of supposed justice, are forgotten. Rest, comrades, rest. All tomorrows are yours.
"'Twere sweet indeed to close our eyes with those we cherish near, and drifted upward by their sighs, soar to some calmer sphere. But whether on scaffold high or in battle's van, the fittest place where man can die is where he dies for man."
Albert Parsons is played by Mike. Adolf Fisher was played by Chris. George Engel was played by Sean. Samuel Feldman was played by Jay. Louis Lane was played by Adam. Oscar Neeb was played by Jerry. August Steves was played by Sean. Michael Schwab was played by Carrie. Lucy Parsons was played by Anita. Maria Schwab was played by Neelan. Sarah Ames was played by Diana. Lizzie Holmes was played by Esther. And Lena Van Zandt was played by Elizabeth. The pig was played by Scott. Mayor Harrison and Judge Joseph Gary were played by Jason. Rob was props. Sound, curtain, everything else. The play was written by Camille. My name is Chris.
Who played the teacher's kid? Who played the teacher's kid?
Yeah, Chris.
Hey, what about Judy?
Rebecca was the star curtain carrier.
Yeah!